What's up, everybody? This is Professor X. Welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about it. Is UPS a good job? First of all, let me say this. I no longer work for UPS. I worked for UPS. I ended back in 2008. So I want to start with that. So I'm going to give you, I have worked for UPS, so I have the knowledge. So let me start there and then kind of bring you up to speed. When I was working for UPS, I was married at the time, and we was living in the Midwest. My wife had our second child, and daycare for 2 kids per week was just off the chain. So we decided, because her family had a daycare business here on the East Coast, that's where I am now, to just move back and be able to enjoy the benefits of having a family-owned daycare. So that's what we did. So I left UPS. I could have stayed with them, but I would have had to wait until something opened up in my area. And of course, they could have found me something else to do. But the job that I have now, they hired me on the spot. So I let the UPS thing go. And that was almost 17 years ago. So that was just a short and sweet version of why I no longer am at UP. Nothing bad happened. We just moved, and I went to another job so I would not have to wait. Now, with that out the way, let me say, first of all, out of all the jobs that I have had, and since I was 20, I've had about 3 jobs because I've stayed in them all for a very long time. And I'm in my upper 40s now. UPS is by far the best job that I have ever had, period. If you are able to get on at UPS, and I will say it like this, particularly if you are young, coming out of high school, something like that. I mean, you can do it at any age, but it requires a lot of energy. As y'all can see, they didn't stop. The trucks keep going, the wheels keep moving. If you can get into UPS, we'll say like coming out of high school, you can have an excellent career. That's what I want to tell you right out the gate. First of all, the work is hard, but it's not like treacherous. I say it this way: hard work, high reward. When I left UPS, and I don't work for them no more, so I mean, I guess I'm assuming I'm able to say what I want to say. When I left UPS in 2008, the top pay in my area, and I think with the exception of a couple states, it's pretty much the same, at least it was then, was around $72,000 a year when I left UPS in 2008. Because I had this thought on my mind today on the route that I do now with the job that I am, a UPS truck passed me by, got out to deliver a package. I got out, went over and talked to him. And I was asking him, in comparison to where it was when I left to where it is now, as far as a top pay, what was the difference? And I wish I would not have asked that question, because the difference in pay from when I left to now is almost $50,000 in just the difference of pay. So y'all do the math. I already told you what I made in 2008, where the top pay was at. Excuse me. So if you're looking, again, hard work, high reward. There's not a lot of places you can go. And the thing with UPS is, a lot of jobs, and of course there's reasons why they can pay that, right? I'm not going to get into it on this video. But those that know UPS, you understand that there's things that go into why the pay is so great. And if you don't know, there's reasons for that. There's certain systems that promote better pay for people versus other things. But anyway, the pay is going to, whenever you start within 2 years or 2.5 years. So whatever they start, let's just say the top pay, and I'm just making this number up. Let's just say the top pay is $20 an hour, and you get started at $8 an hour. You will get a raise every 3 to 4 months until you're at top pay, and that generally takes about 2 years, 2.5 years. So within 2.5 years of being a driver, you can make top pay money. The problem that people will run into is nobody's leaving those jobs. You got a couple of problems. Number one, nobody's leaving those jobs. People don't walk away from UPS. It just don't happen, right? You talk to the driver that comes to your house or business and ask them how long have you been there. The majority of them is pushing 20 years. On average, I would say they're at least 15 years in, and they're not stopping. People don't leave. So it's harder to get into it. And then the way that they hire, their process is going to be more within than without. I'll put it that way. If to get a driving job at UPS, I'm not saying there's not other ways, but the best way to get a driving job at UPS is to go through their loading and unloading process like part-time, because you got guys that load the trucks in the morning. Of course, you got to be there early, I think probably like 4 o'clock in the morning or so. And then there's guys that unload in the afternoon when the trucks come back in, and that's part-time. So when I was there, you had guys that worked either 4 in the morning or in the evening, and then some guys you can work both shifts. The benefits of that is you're still going to get full-time benefits. So even though you work part-time, you still get full-time benefits. And when I was there, the loaders and unloaders was making like $14 an hour starting. It has doubled. It has doubled from what the guy told me today. That's why I said that right there, I may not, but he told me, when I told him 14, he said he believes it has doubled. So that's the best way that's why I say if you're coming out of like high school and you're young, you don't really know what you want to do, try to get down to the UPS, see if you can start a part, because that's going to start the rotation if you ever want to be a driver, because they're going to hire from within first. Yes, for every 5 driving positions, they're going to hire from within, and then the 6th one, they'll hire from the street. So you got to already be within to be in that rotation. For the drivers that retire or move away, you would already have to be in the system for that to happen. So the best way to do it is to go in part-time, takes average of 2 to 3 years, and then you're pretty much set for life. Pension, money, benefits, medical. At the time I was there, we was kind of leaving the shop like 8:30, 8:45 to hit the businesses by 9. Like I said, the hours that I was working, you're going to work some overtime, but that's where the money's at. And it's not anything crazy. I mean, when you go into the holiday season like Christmas, yeah, you're gonna hustle. That's why you see those helpers with those guys at Christmas time, because you're gonna hustle. And what's funny is a lot of times the helpers don't even really understand just how quick you be having to move. So you'll see them like dragging their feet. And as a driver, you be like, but at the same time, you thankful for the help, because you can go in the back of the truck and get the next package ready. But I mean, sometimes it depends on the kind of helper you got during the Christmas season. They can kind of slow you down. But anyway, that's besides the point. Is UPS a good job? Yes, it is the best job I have ever had. Hard work, high reward. There's very few jobs that you can go to in America. I'm not saying there's not any. Listen, I'm saying there's very few. UPS is one of them. That within 2 years, 2 to 3 years as a driver, you could be making over 6 figures. There's very few jobs that do that. Now, I don't know if UPS is going to take this down. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I'm promoting them. I don't even work for them. The way they treat you, I was treated fair. Because, again, there are systems in place. You can't just be treated. When you work for a company like UPS, and listen, I was going to say you can't be treated any other way. You can't even be, you'd have to do something drastic to get fired. In the time that I was there, nobody got fired. You would have to do something drastic to get fired. When I went to deliver packages, even at businesses, the respect people give you just because you're UPS. The respect. And UPS didn't, the job I'm at now, they kind of teach you if you see a car, you kind of slow down and let them know. UPS, again, hey, y'all may have changed, so what I'm saying could be old news, but we was taught to drive safe, but get in there. Hey, if that car didn't back out by the time you got in that parking lot to drop off that package to that business, drive on in there, honk the horn twice, let them know you behind them, go in, take care of business, and nobody ever fussed me out. Nobody ever got out talking about, man, you see I was trying to back out. They respect it. Number one, they know we're not going to be there long. So that's one thing. They know it ain't like we the soda man coming to fill up the vending machine or something like that. They know we're not going to be there long. Nobody ever fussed me out. Christmas time, people invite you to parties, businesses, they're going to give you, you're just going to be treated with respect. That's just the bottom line. Some things that you may have to be aware of, which you are aware of course, you have to work in any type of weather. Just because it's raining hard, people still want their packages. Businesses still want their packages. So you have to be able to work in any kind of weather, and in maybe a vehicle that may or may not have any heat. In the truck that I had, there was no heat. And I was in the Midwest. In the truck that I had, there was no heat. Now, if y'all don't know, the back of them trucks is just like a tin ice box. No heat on that metal. It's like a freezer in there. Summertime, it's like a sauna. But it's all by design. Again, UPS, hey, this could be old information, but it's all by design. Think about if it's 20 degrees outside and I had heat in the back of my truck. Would I want to get out? No, I wouldn't want to get out. I was sitting there all day, right? Or at least, man, I'm sitting here and throwing my fingers out. No, that package got to move. The truck's got to move. The wheels got to turn. So that's something you got to think about. If you're not ready to work, I'm talking about now as a driver. If you're not ready to work in any kind of weather, if you're not able to work alone, if you don't have good critical thinking skills, because there are going to be situations where you're really going to have to think and figure it out. I mean, there's going to be people like, man, I ain't getting my pay. They could be, you know how people can be. I ordered a laptop yesterday. It didn't come, man. And this was back before, like I said, this was 2008. This was when Amazon was, they was moving. I would go into a residence back then, and let's just say they had 100 homes. I might have only delivered to 15 different homes back then. Not now. They're going almost maybe 5 houses before they're stopping again. I might have had just 4 houses on a whole street back then. So now things have really gotten, out of hand as far as people taking packages and whatnot. And of course, they're going to want to blame UPS for that. But I'm sure that's a whole nother system. If you're willing to work hard, if you got the energy, UPS, hard work, high reward. Thank you for listening. If I said anything that can help you, comment. I'll see y'all later.